Boom. Yeah, this is Ozzy's funeral today. So that I didn't realize that. That's not the reason why we're doing an Ozzy tribute, but it was today. I seen some photos of it. Sontia had sent something she'd watched a tribute. So there's a lot of tributes. So this is just another tribute, you know. So we're just gonna get into it. How about that?
Welcome to For Music Lovers Only, a podcast where each host makes a top 5 list of their favorite songs from this week's topic. Each week is a new topic. Tune in, I dare you.
Music
Lovers Only.
You didn't know what to do there with without us talking during your intro or coming in talking. You were like, "Oh, this space, and I'm supposed to say this."
Yeah,
it was like it was more throwing you off that we weren't talking this week.
Yeah, and I don't think we're broadcasting to Sontia's page, and mine's being weird. I'm trying to get it going here.
Hell, we might not even be on my page.
Yeah, but the book is weird. I assume it's the book thing. I think the Sontia's issue is she needs to click that button over there. But she had some things to do tonight, so we've got her video queued up for her top 5 Ozzy Osbourne songs, which we're going to get into all that in a minute. This is episode 117 of For Music Lovers Only, the podcast, and like I just said, we're talking about Ozzy. It was his funeral today, and I think there's a lot of tributes. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the most tributes, and this is a lot of people felt this one. He left a mark on music, and like you said, the last episode, whatever you thought of the man, that's kind of the annoying part of society today. Our idols, we know too much about them, and it kind of ruins the magic of it, because I've lost a few just in the past couple months that I just won't I can't like anymore, and I've loved them, and I wanted to put them on a couple lists, and I just couldn't. What am I missing, Coach? What am I missing?
Oh, there was a comment on the sideline. One of my favorite comments on the side that want to talk to us about our podcast. Sorry, it was a bad time for me to do it, but when that stuff catches my eye, and I really wanted to mess with them, but no, I just was deleting him.
We're huge in India. We're huge.
We are massive. Yep.
What can we say? What can we say?
Yeah, no, and I said, like last week, wrong time to say it, all that. Just like my joke, how I said it at work. What I was trying to talk about was I say stuff at the wrong times, just like I did last week. But yeah, he had my dad was a huge fan, so he had a huge impact on me. My brother was texting me about him, and so
yeah, and I probably forgot more of his songs. I was surprised at that when I went back through, and I was like, oh yeah. I mean, it was so like I said, Sontia's got her list. We're going to let her go first, and we're going to play this video here in, a few more minutes when we get done him hawing around here, talking about our week and all that stuff. But
Sontia's not here, by the way, guys. She's on the road. Oh yeah, he said all that. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, she had some stuff to do, so, and I think I have not listened to it, so I don't know what song she's picked, so she may knock ours off. She's not even here, and Coach was talking about that. That was that's pretty messed up. Diva, huh?
Well, I mean, it should be the rule. She should have to do like multiple edits, and we know what songs are on them. That way, if whatever 5 songs we pick, we get to, I mean, she might even have 12, 14 of them. We don't know. And we're like, okay, we get to pick this one and then load it. So it might take her 14 hours to record.
To pre-record. Yeah.
Miss an 40-minute show. It might take, but still, that's the rules to missing the show.
Well, I kind of thought, maybe just record the whole show. But
I thought that's like when you said it, by the way.
That's kind of what I thought. But then I'm like, I enjoy having the live, because like last week we had a lot of live entered. I think it was all people from her page, which we probably won't have this week because we, Facebook. Well, this was her not hitting the button, and so next week we should have that all worked out. But And then I thought, we could all just get together and record her part so we could have our banter to her songs on there, but that still we would know, so we wouldn't pick those songs, and so that would lose some of the fun of the show.
You say so?
I don't know.
It would lose the fun for you, but it would make it less stressful for me, which would always be great as a person that's always stressed out. No, I'm fine with it. I have enough famous songs to pick from.
Oh yeah,
they won't all get picked. That I think I'll be fine, really, no matter what. So yeah,
this was definitely the hardest in a while to narrow down. I think
mine
probably
ended up a lot weirder than I thought. When we get to mine, we'll talk about it. But I only picked from 2 albums and didn't mean to. I mean, honestly, because I never owned a Black Sabbath or Ozzy or whatever album. So hopefully some of them get bumped and I have to go outside of this. But when I just picked my list just based on listening, I don't listen to albums. I listen to it on Spotify while I'm running, while I'm doing stuff. I very rarely, I like it. And then I look at them in order that way. And then I kind of go through and pick it. And if they're already on my list, then I just, narrow it down to just my Ozzy or Black Sabbath or whatever songs. And then that's how I pick. And this one just kind of ended up on 2, and we'll talk about it when it gets there.
Yeah. Well, I say let's get rolling since
she usually hers will take a little while, and then we can banter after. Or
I think it's 13 minutes. I think I know that. That's all I know. So let's see how this is gonna work here when I click this button.
I guess we can.
Okay, there we go. Jesus Christ. Man, guys, I hope that this is right. I'm doing this the night before. I have things to do on Wednesday. I have things to do. So I am not able to attend in live and in person, but I went ahead and recorded my Ozzy Osbourne songs. Hopefully in the right spot, the right way. We'll see. So yeah. So what I want to say about my little trip through Ozzy, I've had so much going on in my life. I haven't had a chance to really, 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 really sit down and just really dive deep into Ozzy. But one thing that I really did notice while I was going through all of this, me personally, is that he's always had a depth of sorrow in him, but there was always a way out. Like he talked about his sorrows and his pains, and he talked about just kind of like really traumatic, tragic, scary things. And besides a couple of songs that I listened to, there always seemed to be just a little glimmer of hope. And I really appreciated about that. And that's the life of just kind of having a lifelong battle with addiction and probably mental health issues, all sorts of other different things. As you get in these spaces, you get in these dark spaces, and you try to find your way out. But he always found his way out, and it seems like toward the end he was making peace with whatever it was that he has done that he regretted, because he talked a lot about regret, and I don't think that whatever it was that he was worried about, he had an easy time forgiving himself for. So just the time that I had to really experience Ozzy, I felt his pain, but I felt his love, and his love came from everywhere. It wasn't just him. He had a support system like no other. He had people that loved him like no other. He had a family that loved him like no other. And one thing about people that are sick is love helps them so much. So I'm going to start this list off with the first Ozzy song that I can recall hearing. I wasn't allowed to listen to metal. And that was it. Like, turn that shit off. Like, what are you doing? Don't you bring that devil music in this house. So I didn't really discover Ozzy except for what was going on the radio at first. And the first song that I heard was Perry Mason. And Perry Mason looks like it was off of Osmosis, the 1995 album. And what I really love about that song is it's so beautiful and random. Like, I love Perry Mason so much that I'm going to write a whole song, and it's going to be a bomb ass song. Like, it's not going to be a half ass song. It's going to be a bomb ass song. You know, who's going to put you away? Hey, it's Perry Mason. Like, oh my God. I used to sing that song to the top of my lungs. Didn't have no clue who sung it. Absolutely not. And I'm sure they announced it on the radio a couple of times, and I was just like, Uzi, who's that? Like, they said something about some Ozzy Osbourne. Like, I don't know a Uzi, and some Black Sabbath. That sounds evil. I can't listen to that. So that's going to be my number one is Perry Mason. I was singing that.
Let's see, we can pause it and we can talk. I seen this song, but I didn't listen to it, and I never heard it. I didn't know they played it on the radio. Do you know it?
I've never heard it until just now. It's a first for me. And when we get to my list, we'll talk about part of also why I wouldn't have discovered it in this journey either. But yeah, no, I had never heard of it till now. That'll be a fun one.
I've seen it on the album, but I didn't listen to it because I had enough to consume. But all right, continue.
Walking with my kid to the store today, I was like, it's Perry Mason again. Oh man, that little guitar lick. Oh my goodness. And it's definitely the more simplistic of the songs that they wrote, but I really, really enjoy it. Number 2 had me in my feelings this morning. Actually, I found this song this morning, and I kind of feel like I remember in 2020 when Ordinary Man, the album, had come out. I feel like I saw this on some sort of summer MTV music reveal or something like that. But it's a song called Under the Graveyard. And this song, the Under the Graveyard song, really touched me because it's about, it's the end. You're coming toward the end. You pretty much got to meet your maker. You got to figure out, you don't have to figure out anything. It's here. It's done. You're done. And it's not really a morbid song to me. It's just kind of making peace with whatever's gone on in your life. And then you're going under the graveyard. And let me see if I can, I did a screenshot of some of the lyrics because I remember that it gave me chills. It gave me chills. And this is in 2020. He just passed. So 5 years ago, he was ready to to go. He thought he was going, and he just kept on ticking. Took a licking and kept on ticking. What is that? The Energizer Bunny? Something like that. I think it was the Energizer. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Yes.
Don't sue us.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't take care of me. Be scared of me. My misery owns me. I don't want to be my enemy. Like, you want to find your redemption before you go under the graveyard. You want to go ahead and make sure that you at least love who you are as a person. And that was one of his battles, is loving himself as himself. And Under the Graveyard really embodied that. And it's such a good song, and I really enjoyed it. Number 3 is going to be a classic off of, it looks like it is the Paranoid album, released in the UK in 1970 and in the USA in 1971. This is the full band Black Sabbath, and it is going to be Iron Man. Now, when I first heard Iron Man, I'm gonna tell you though, when I first heard Iron Man, that intro.
Are you safe?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like, oh man, this is gonna be just the hardest rockin' song in the whole universe. Like, I am Iron Man, and I'm expecting things to just split in half, and I want metal and fire everywhere. And then it goes to like almost this happy skipping like kind of riff, like where are we going with this? And then it takes you on this whole ride
70s,
to where
man.
you just gotta hang on. Iron Man is a ride for me. The intro is what's up, and then you get to just ride this wave all the way through the rest of the song. But I really like that song. That was one of my favorite songs that Black Sabbath did, besides others, which I'm sure the guys will bring out. Number 4. Oh man. Number 4. This one made me cry. It made me cry. Like Under the Graveyard gave me chills, but this one made me cry. And this is kind of where I felt like I understood on a personal level kind of what he had gone through. And this is from the No More Tears album in 1991. And it's called Road to Nowhere. And it's about trying to get away
I
from
like how she paused, like
your
she
past and get better. The wreckage of my past keeps haunting me.
Yep.
It just won't leave me alone. I still find it all a mystery. Can it be a dream that the road to nowhere leads to me? Now, I talk about healing all the time, because it's probably saved my life. It probably saved my life. The last 4 years of my life have been total and complete immersion in healing. And this song is such a healing song, because you're going to keep walking. You're going to keep doing whatever you need to do. You find the deepest, darkest, most dankest parts of yourselves and you hate it, but you just keep going on this road. You don't know where you're going. You have no idea what's going to happen. You're losing people along the way. Shit's going wrong. Nothing's going right. Everything's burning. Everything costs money. And you just feel like you're just not going anywhere. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you meet yourself. After you get rid of all the masks and all the dirt and all the lies and all the projections, you finally meet yourself. And that's what the road to nowhere, that's what I heard in that song. It's just Ozzy having a moment to where he was seeing who he was. You know, maybe the road to nowhere leads to me. Like, yeah, dig it. That's
Good
right,
song.
Ozzy. And then my final, number 5, is going to be Paranoid, from the Paranoid album in 1970.
Yep.
I love this song because I had a band once and we covered it and we did a really bad job and we got booed. Oh, it was so terrible. Everybody's like, get off stage. It sounded good in practice. But this was back in the day where you didn't have a phone. I did not bring the lyrics, and we didn't have the chords with us, which it was simple. It's a simple song to play, but oh my God. Well, it's not simple, but I mean, for what we could do, you know, we were happy to just even be able to play a Black Sabbath song. Like, man, we can play a Black Sabbath song and it sounds like it'll be a Black Sabbath song, you know? So, yeah. So I like it just because it's it's a fun song. I like the part where he goes, "Can you help me occupy my brain?" Ooh, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Man. And I know that everybody playing guitar when they were listening to their metal when they were younger, unlike me, who couldn't. That had to be one of the first fucking riffs that you ever learned how to play. Just do 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 do.
That was almost 20 minutes before she got her F word in.
Like, oh my goodness.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Brings back so many memories, but it's just a fun, awesome, wholesome-ish song. But yeah, there were a lot of songs on this journey that were uncomfortable. So I didn't put them. I had them on my list, but I didn't bring them up. But that's about it. So there is my list, and thank you so much, guys. All right, have a good night.
Good list, Sontia. Indeed, stole one of mine. I've got my up, but I'm just gonna wait. See what how it all fares out in the end. I don't know.
Are we just gonna paper rock or scissors for ours, or what?
We'll try it.
It's a rock paper. Okay, rock paper scissors shoot. We're way too much delay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'll just block Sontia mentally if it don't land on her.
She's got to go again. We got to watch it again.
Luckily, we had her record.
And I didn't get her thing, so I'll have to go back and post and add her little.
As I say, luckily we had to record 13 different ones in case she did use any songs we wanted, but you didn't make her do that.
It's going to be the new protocol.
or I'll just do my first number 5, my second number 5, my third, my first number 4, my second. No.
Yeah, there you go. Got to do 3 of each.
Well, I did this list a little different. Man, I was always a Sabbath guy. And he was part of that. He wrote, and that was his thing, obviously. So all of my songs are Black Sabbath. They're all Ozzy, obviously. He sang every one of them.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured you guys would use a lot of Ozzy stuff. And I did. There was a ton of good Ozzy. Mostly the more commercial stuff I liked more. I did at one point. He has all everything he sings is good. Not everything, but he's good. But anyways, all mine are Sabbath.
He was with Sabbath from 70 to 79. And then I think 81, he pretty much, I think it was either 81 or 82, he started his solo stuff, started doing his solo stuff. So, and like I said, a lot of music to pick from.
Yeah, I think basically I kind of alluded to it in the beginning and said some of my songs got used. That's what it's going to be. But all of mine offer 2 albums. Didn't mean it that way, just happened that way. I was kind of hoping maybe 1 or 2 would get picked, but these are kind of my songs, and these were the ones I think my dad had both of these. And so I just remember hanging out with my dad and his friends and at his buddy Jim's, and they were both, it'd be Sabbath on all the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time. So my number 5, my dad, I remember, used to sing, and he every once in a while, instead of the line "evil woman," which is my number 5, he would say Dorothy, which is my mom's name. And so that song has a different meaning to me. And it's kind of one of those memories, where evil woman, you get your ways, evil woman. There's like a part in there, and he just basically, and I can't, because my parents did separate when I was pretty young. I believe this was all after that. It was probably the post, but some of it may have been pre. This might have been the precursor to it. So,
what album was that again?
That was "Evil Woman," and it's from the self-entitled, their first self-entitled album.
Okay, which came out in 70. Which
70. Yeah,
Paranoid came out in 72, or 70 also. Excuse me.
Yes, but I think so. Black Sabbath, that the self-titled album is their debut album, and so I kind of figured Iron Man and Paranoid were going to get used. Just 100% honest, one of you two would have one of those 2 songs because they're huge songs. So they were on my tentatives but stayed away. So those were kind of the biggest ones off of Paranoid to me. So
like I said, that album really wasn't well perceived The cover, the imagery was too dark. That's why with Paranoid they went with that weird light, kind of cosplay looking kid and colorful.
Yep.
And so yeah.
My number 4 is off of Masters of Reality, and I don't remember what year that is. But 3 of my songs are off of that album, Josh. So if you have any of
good
them,
then.
Okay, good. But this one would be like as a radio guy, and there's a lot of Sabbath songs as a radio guy. If you like talk ups, doing intros over no talking, but that music, that play up, this one would be awesome. And it's Into the Void.
Yeah.
And that one's an awesome song. And it's got 2 different, basically, if you're a DJ, you can play it. And then it kicks for another almost minute or 45 second in the middle of it gap where it just does music again, where you can be like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you get down there during the first song, we got a chance for you to get down here during this next song coming up. And then it kicks into the next verse and you could play them in both perfect. But it's like a 6 minute and 30 second song or 6 minute and 40 second song.
That was kind of a trademark of theirs. Back in the 70s, they did a lot of medleys and stuff. And I've got one on mine that's like 4 songs.
Yeah, I think Into the Void, it's a minute 39 before he starts singing. And there's a couple others I found that are over 2 minutes of them playing before, but they're not their bigger songs. And I think it's because it's hard to get unless you just love a band, it's hard to listen to them just play for 2 minutes without singing. Unless you're just music.
Good.
Exactly. Yes.
Tony Iommi was pretty good.
Oh, and if you were into on some stuff, or the buildup was, you're like, come on, song. So, my number 3. Oh crap! I hit the wrong button and it took it away. My number 3 is also from Masters of Reality, and this is Children of the Grave, which is, I think, one of the first songs I remember hearing, because there says something in there and they're the children of the grave. And then you're like, what? And then that's kind of another one of those songs. It's real dark, but it's a bunch of parts of it are almost happy sounding if you're not listening to the words that are playing in it. That was kind of one of their trademarks. They either, did dark stuff, but they had plenty of those songs where if you really listen to the song, there's some, darker stuff or more powerful stuff, not always dark, but so they had quite a bit of political messaging in some of their music. It just wasn't straight in your face political messaging. It was shots and different innuendos, if you may.
Some of it was, some of it wasn't.
Some of it was straight in your face. Yeah. That was my number 3, right? Yeah. Did I skip 4? I did 4, 3. Okay, 2. Also of Masters of Reality. And this one is one of those songs because of some things that I used to like to do, sandwiches or whatever, but Sweet Leaf. Yeah. And I don't think it has nothing to do with it. I don't know if it does. It talks about Sweet Leaf, I'm assuming in my head, that's what it is.
I kind of hope you're joking, but yes, that's exactly what they're talking about. Sandwiches.
Yes.
You got to have that sweet lettuce for them sandwiches.
Yes, that Sweet Leaf. And that was another one of those songs, kind of forbidden songs or whatever. If you played that somewhere, or, if your teacher took your headphones off and heard that song, you go down to the principal's office, whatever. So, my number 1 is also off of their self-entitled album. This is the second one off of that. To me, one of the coolest sounding like intros, one of the coolest just guitar songs there is, The Wizard, from the self-entitled album.
Yeah, had me puckering for a minute.
Okay.
Puckering for a minute.
Those 2 albums, man, I have 2 other honorable mention from both of those albums. Those are, easily they're 2 best albums. Plenty of great music elsewhere. They have bigger songs. Some of their biggest songs are later, but almost beginning to end on both of those albums, very listenable. So
yeah, I could have picked every song off of Paranoid. Paranoid is my Black Sabbath album. I didn't. Only one made it, and I was puckering a little bit when she, I think, picked 2 off of there. Yeah, she picked 2 off of there.
Well, so far, Yeah, we haven't got into very many albums with two of us going already, since I only used 2 albums. She used 3. So no.
All right, I'm gonna take a pick at this one then, and we'll go. Where are we at? We got 30 minutes. I got 15 minutes to kill again. Seems to be the trend.
Ah.
I can kill it.
Don't do 15 minutes to do 15. Make the time fit. No.
Make it fit. What I noticed is going through, because I kind of went through, I didn't make it through all of the Sabbath albums or even all of the newer Ozzy stuff. But like I said in the beginning, he had some good musicians. You know, Zakk Wylde, he had Randy Rhoads, he had Tony Iommi and the whole Black Sabbath. I don't know any other musicians he jammed with other than the main guitarist as Ozzy. But what I noticed in this is, there's all these subgenres of metal. Black Sabbath has got a song that most likely spawned it or would fit that category. Like you said, Sweetleaf, stoner doom rock. I mean, almost their whole, they invented doom metal almost. There's some that will argue other, but there's so many subgenres. He's definitely the godfather of metal. I'm pretty sure he has been dubbed that. That's not me saying that. But you go through and you start seeing all these subgenres, and you could go find a song in early Black Sabbath that would fit that. And my number 5 is not Sabbath. This is one of my favorite songs ever. I didn't know this album existed, and I didn't know Ozzy covered it. Working Class Hero. The album was 2005 Undercover. It was a whole album of covers. Like I said, I didn't know it existed.
Yeah,
and a lot of it's like older songs. It wasn't kind of like, not like Johnny Cash did, where he did newer songs and paid tribute. It looked like this was all older ones. I can't remember.
I have one that was on my list I almost used that was on there. That's another one, just like a style, an older song that he did really good justice.
Yeah, what song was it?
Mississippi Queen.
Yes, that was the one I was thinking.
Dude, he nails it in that. Like there's when we do those remake ones or whatever, that was one that, is it better than the original, and tests it. I mean, and Mississippi Queen's that's hard to say.
Yeah. Well, it's no big secret that Ozzy was a Beatles fan. He, as he was coming out, they were breaking up, so he grew up with the Beatles, and I know he said it publicly in interviews, but I don't know. Who do you think Ozzy's favorite Beatle was? I'm gonna vote for John. I think if Ozzy had a favorite Beatle, it would be John.
It's hard to say, just because he was always the leader, and Paul was always kind of the main front man. But yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about this before. I'm kind of a Paul guy. Weirdly, I think John was the deeper writer, the all that. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, who do you think Ozzy's favorite Beatle was?
I want to say Paul is what I would say.
You would say Paul.
Beautiful voice of Paul is hard to not be a fan.
Everybody out there listening, let us know what you think.
It was probably Ringo, if I'm honest.
I mean, who doesn't like Ringo? How can you not like Ringo?
Poor George. Nobody ever. I don't know if he's ever been mentioned in somebody's favorite. I mean, and I had no problem with George.
Well, for me, in my top 2, it's John and George, and it's always.
Right. I forget we talked about that.
They're always fighting for number 1 in my hearts. But I mean, I love Paul. Paul's, like I said, Paul's my least favorite Beatle.
I know.
I mean, but that doesn't mean I don't like him. I mean, if I met him, I would be like
the Beatles.
I would be like, oh, I'd be Wayne and Garth in them. I mean.
We're not worthy.
Exactly. So my number 4 was Road to Nowhere. And like she said, the line she said is what I wrote down, but and that just seems how it is. So I'm gonna substitute it with See You on the Other Side, which seems fitting because it is, we will see him on the other side now. Over the Mountain would have been good too. That could do it. But I'm gonna stick with my See You on the Other Side, which was the Osmosis album. I don't know the year, but that was after Zakk joined him.
That was one of his more ballady, or I don't know how you call that, but type songs. We'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely kind of call it a ballad, a sad ballad,
Yeah.
a sonnet.
So yeah, something, that was like a little bit of his Meatloaf coming out there, or maybe that's where Meatloaf got some of his from, one of the two.
Yeah. Well, the story about how Zach got picked, I seen that because Zach was grew up with the Sabbath and then was in love with I mean not in love but loved Rhodes, was very influenced by Rhodes' style. And then so Randy Rhodes passed away, and then so they got to the point where they needed to replace, get another good singer in there. And Sharon's like, you got this whole box full of demo tapes you need to go through. And Ozzy's like, I don't want to. And so he just grabbed one, and that's the story. I don't know if I'm pretty sure that Sharon, probably said
Maybe put that one on the top.
gave him that one because I think Sharon had done, had met Zach, seen the demo and stuff, and it couldn't have been more fitting because Zach carried a lot of weight with Ozzy. He did a lot of singing. There's sometimes I hear that I've heard that on stage, if you see an Ozzy live, you might be hearing Zach Wilde sing because you can hear it in his solo, his projects that he's very, he tries to sound like Ozzy, but Ozzy was signing the checks. So, I mean, hey, I love both Zach Wilde and Ozzy, so I can dig it.
Okay.
All right, my number 3, the one you had me puckering on the debut album, the Black Sabbath album, was a 9-minute song. There's 4 songs. Wasp, Behind the Wall of Sleep, Basically, and NIB. And I really only chose it because of NIB, because I like this version, the original version of it. But I mean, all of it is good up until then. But the NIB was it Nativity in Black, and it's basically a story of he's portraying the devil in this song, and come to me, trying to entice his victims or whatever.
Yep.
It's a good song. I don't know if they really re-recorded it when they re-released it here in like 2000 or something. I think it came out on like a greatest hits compilation album. It was when it came out again as just NIB. They still the basically the little bass intro thing. They left that. And so,
and that's because just the NIB version was my 6. It almost made my list. That's, the version I know. I mean, just because, again, that's another one of those 9-minute songs. I remember hearing it, but thought it was its own song as a kid playing on the album or whatever, and then you go to look for it and this other song starts and my dad's like, no, it's back there.
Yeah. You got to get through these 2 songs before you get to that one.
Songs first. Don't worry. So.
Well, like I said, since Sontia stole my sad song, I'm glad I still got the other sad song, Changes, off of the Sabbath, which I couldn't remember if Sabbath or Ozzy did it, so I was a little surprised that it was Sabbath.
Yep.
But that was the 72 album, the Volume 4.
It never focuses, but there it is on my list. Oh,
yeah. And this one, I don't know. Was Volume 4 also? That wasn't the same as the one you were talking, the Master.
No, it's not. But there's what's crazy is I think there was like Volume 4 had some songs from Masters of Reality, or vice versa. There's like 1 or 2 songs that I do believe cross over, but they're not the bigger ones.
Yeah, and
it's crazy. It is raining insane outside, and like it's been warm in my studio. And this cold front that's coming through, it just dropped like 15 degrees in an insulated studio.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Nice. Well, like I said, I think 4 was when friction started to happen with the band. I think from what I was watching some interviews and stuff, and I think they had a different name for 4. Because 4 had this was the one that had, I'm pretty sure this had Sweet Leaf on it too, but it also had Snowblind. Maybe it didn't have Sweet Leaf on it, but it definitely had Snowblind on it. And there was a lot of snow at the time, and which that was probably the main reason Ozzy was no longer part of Sabbath. But this was 8 year, well, 7 year. I can't math right now. 7 years before he actually kicked. But I know I've heard the stories that this was a wild time in the studios and just mounds of it, and they had a different name, and the record company said no, you can't call that album that.
Yeah, no, it does not have Sweet
Sweet
Leaf on it.
Okay, but it does have Snowblind, right?
Yes, and it has that Supernaut, which is another song.
Oh yeah, definitely on my
Changes, which was on mine, and then Wheels of Confusion, which is a good song too.
Yeah.
And yes, and then even Under the Sun, Every Day Comes and Goes. So that was another. I mean, this is crazy. Is we each could have just got assigned an album and probably had 5 songs. And been okay with it. Like, oh, this one only had 10 songs, and I still struggled to pick my top 5, or whatever. So,
well, I kind of on the Changes song, because what that other cat had done a cover of it, and I love that cover, and he found it when his mom died. So some reason I had it in my head that Ozzy, I mean, it's definitely a love song or a heartbreak song, losing a love, a love. But Ozzy's mom didn't die till like 2001. And from what I can find, he just got married in 71. So what I can figure is the honeymoon was over. And so he wrote this song, this really freaking sad song called Changes. And so I don't know, because his first wife was, married in 71. And I think they split in 82. And then he got with Sharon, which Sharon was the daughter of his record producer, not manager, but who was in control of his career. And I think her dad was about ready to shit can him. And she was like, let me take him.
Straighten him out.
And so,
I don't struggled. She tried, she kept him straightened out. But, I was like, sometimes a wild dog's going to bark.
Like I said, I don't think he would have been nearly as charming if he would have minded his P's and Q's. You got to have a little honor in this. You got to bite a little heads off.
Yeah, like I said, I never meant some fire ants. I never meant it the wrong way. The extra years with him were just extra years, because that was a guy that anybody, I mean, like nobody, oh my God, he just, it's sad that he went, but it's insane that he made it that long. Yeah. He's one of those rock stars that was like, I'm going to party like a rock star. And what happens. I mean, later in life, he did clean up. He tried, he did all that. But I mean, I know from obviously the kids, he was a good dad. That dude spent a lot of money on paying for some hotel damages.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
All right. My number one, like Sontia had said, Paranoid was probably, I'm pretty sure Smoke on the Water was my number one. Paranoid was probably number 2. This one was probably the 3rd song I learned, but Electric Funeral off of the Paranoid album. And it's got a real sci-fi horror film feel to it. And I'm not going to say that was the first, because I know there was other bands that definitely had, like even Led Zeppelin had the sci-fi feel, but this was kind of like, the aliens coming down to get you kind of feel. And I love the song. And like I said, none of their stuff was too terribly hard, but good music that, doesn't have to have 1,000 notes and doesn't have to be hard to play it. Iommi just made that guitar talk, his own way. All of his guitarists he's worked with, which I know he's worked with more than just Iommi, Rhodes, and Zach, because I think Zach split out a couple years, or he didn't. There was some albums as he did with Ozzy that he wasn't with Zach. I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong, but
what's crazy to me is, again, that Iron Man was used, that Paranoid was used, that Electric Funeral was used, and War Pigs that's got to be the biggest song off that album, right?
No, like I said, that whole album, I could have used every song. There's not one song I don't like.
Between Paranoid and War Pigs,
Berries Have Boots. You got to believe me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Hands of Doom, Rat Salad. Yeah.
And all of them. But the only reason Funeral made it was because, that was one of the guitar songs I learned. I never got to play it live, which I probably would have butchered it. And then I switched to bass. And so,
I believe it.
Talking about Jana's, you popping it up?
Yeah, I popped it up. It was up there for a little while.
Okay.
And then she also said this. Another epic upcoming playlist.
Yep. We've got the last week's, the innuendos, a lot of good giggles on that one. Maybe a few question marks, but it happens. We'll figure out something for next week. Something. What did we talk about?
Yeah, I came up with a better name for it on the way home the other day, and then forgot it. And I need to just like put it on my list that I'm working on for that week so I can do it. But basically, it was kind of songs that describe us. But I don't know if any of us are ready for that right now. So I think maybe we pen that one. I was gonna, I came up with a better way to say it, that it also didn't have to be necessarily emotionally describing us. But
I'm just checking my notes because the messed up thing about it is I always get my greatest ideas when I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
The drive to work is usually when it's popping. The drive home is just kind of like, anger, cussing people out because there's way more idiots on the road coming home.
My drive to work is just don't fall asleep and go off the road. So I'm struggling.
Well, I've been, like I said, with the garden, I've been having to get up earlier, so I haven't been sleeping. I'm not looking forward to school starting, and then I got to get up even earlier to take care of everything out there. So I'm outside. I've checked out the sandwiches already, and it's been a great morning, and just coffee, plants, and sandwiches, and I'm like, great, let's go to work. So let's go fund my sandwich gardening habits.
While I'm at work in a meeting or something like that, thinking of some great oh crap, that'd be funny to say on something.
Yeah. Well, I've started, having my phone and just switching to the notes and just turning the thing on and talking, even if it doesn't catch everything right, at least catch, some of it. And that's where the genre thing came up. I just made sure I didn't miss anything. I was like, holy crap, there's that genre, this genre, All right, well,
genre. So, we stretched it out. Her 13 minutes, my 7, and we got a bunch. I figured out how to talk enough to make yours go. You're 15, so
I think we got it. I think we pulled it off. Thunder happening.
DVD. Thanks, Steve Hernandez. Thanks, Jana. Thanks everybody that came in and played along. Give us some ideas. If you guys, we always want that stuff too. Get on my page. Get on Josh's Room Green. My personal page, get on the Middle of the Road podcast, and just give us some ideas, anything you want to hear. I mean, we love doing the artists, but I figure we'll take a little break, a year. We can pick some decades. We got there's plenty of topics, and we can always start recycling. We got states, we got,
Yeah, we still got a lot. It's just daunting sometimes.
Like the songs that would have made our parents angry, or that would have been a struggle for both of us, because our dad, I guess it would have been all rap for me, because my dad
exactly.
But maybe like just songs that made parents mad. It don't have to be our parents, because we had the cool ones. My dad's the reason I got into Black Sabbath and got into the ZZ Tops and all that. If not, I'd have been listening to Women with Purses and with my mom, and nothing wrong. Women without
dad drew the line at Marilyn Manson, and ironically, he was a big Alice Cooper fan, and he just couldn't get it that it was just a new generation, just a new
freak. We're trying. Freak. It was like, but yeah, it was like the sideshow mixed with freaking good music, and it's like that's what they like. They like that shock rock.
Yeah. Brilliant artistry, brilliant, both of them. So yeah. Yep. All right. Well, good episode, Coach. We held down the fort respectively. I think you lucked out, didn't have any ding Danya. I got a dinger, so we gotta give her some grief on that.
I know it's funny because I use 2 albums and everybody thinks I just don't like. It's just crazy. I think those are just, when I started listening through, I listened to greatest hits. I had to dig to go find some of these ones that I didn't remember, because it's just the ones that you remember listening to with your parents, or they have that certain memory. So
I'm definitely going to be listening to some more and dig those albums that I didn't have time to, now that I don't have to make a list and have a deadline. But yep, we'll see you all next week. Thank you all.
Peace, y'all.